Tired of buying herbs that go bad in your fridge? What if you could have fresh, fragrant herbs right at your fingertips, literally floating in your kitchen? Imagine snipping fresh basil for your pasta, or mint for your tea, all from a beautiful hanging garden you made yourself. Well, stop imagining, because today I'm going to show you exactly how to create your own stunning and practical hanging herb garden. It's easier than you think, and it will completely transform your space and your cooking. So, what do we need to get started on this green adventure? First, the stars of the show, your herb seedlings. I recommend starting with seedlings instead of seeds if you're a beginner. They're more robust and you'll get to harvest much sooner. For today's project, I've chosen basil, mint, and rosemary. Basil is fantastic for Italian dishes, mint is perfect for drinks and desserts, and rosemary adds an amazing flavor to roasted meats and vegetables. Plus, they all smell incredible. You can find these at any local nursery or garden center. Next up, our hanging pots. You can find so many different styles, from modern ceramic to rustic terracotta, or even lightweight plastic ones. The most important thing is to make sure they have drainage holes at the bottom. This is non-negotiable. Without proper drainage, your herb roots will sit in water and rot. I've chosen these beautiful macrame hangers with simple terracotta pots. They look great and provide excellent drainage. You'll also need a small hook for each pot to hang it securely from your ceiling or a wall bracket. Now, let's talk about the foundation for our herbs, the soil. Don't just grab dirt from your backyard. Herbs, especially in pots, need well-draining, nutrient-rich soil. Look for a high-quality potting mix specifically designed for containers or vegetables. This kind of mix is light and airy, which helps the roots breathe and grow strong. I'm also adding a little bit of perlite to my mix. These little white rocks improve drainage and aeration even more, which is a big plus for hanging pots. You'll also want a small trowel, some gardening gloves if you like to keep your hands clean, and a watering can with a gentle spout. That's it for materials. All right, let's get our hands dirty. The first step is to prepare our pots. If your pots are new, you're good to go. If you're reusing old ones, make sure to wash them thoroughly with soap and water to get rid of any old soil or potential diseases. Once they're clean and dry, place a small piece of mesh or a coffee filter over the drainage hole. This clever little trick prevents the soil from washing out when you water, while still allowing the excess water to escape. Now for the soil mix. In a separate bucket or container, pour in your potting mix. I usually fill my pots about 2/3 full to start. If you're using perlite like me, add a handful or two to the potting mix and mix it all together. This will create the perfect airy environment for your herb's roots to thrive. Don't pack the soil down too tightly. We want to keep it light and fluffy. It's time for the most exciting part, planting our herbs. Gently take your first herb seedling out of its temporary plastic container. Be careful not to damage the roots. I find it easiest to squeeze the sides of the container a bit and then turn it upside down, letting the plant slide out into my hand. If the roots are tightly wound in a circle at the bottom, this is called being root bound, gently tease them apart with your fingers. This encourages the roots to grow outwards into the new soil. Now, make a small hole in the center of the soil in your pot, just big enough for the root ball. Place your herb seedling in the hole, making sure the top of its root ball is level with the surrounding soil. You don't want to bury the stem. Once it's in place, start filling in the gaps around the plant with more of your soil mix. Gently press the soil down around the base of the plant to secure it. Leave about an inch of space between the soil and the rim of the pot. This space, called headspace, prevents soil and water from spilling over the edge when you water. Repeat this process for your other herbs. 1 herb per pot is usually best, especially for aggressive growers like mint. Mint will take over any space you give it, so it's definitely a plant that needs its own home. Rosemary and basil are a bit more polite, but they also appreciate having their own space to grow and flourish. Giving each herb its own pot ensures it gets all the nutrients and water it needs without competition. Once all your herbs are happily potted, it's time for their first drink of water. This is a crucial step. Water them thoroughly until you see water starting to drip from the drainage holes at the bottom. This ensures the entire root ball is moist and helps the soil settle around the roots, eliminating any air pockets. Use a watering can with a gentle rose attachment to avoid dislodging the soil or the new plant. For this first watering, it's a good idea to do it over a sink or outside to avoid making a mess. Now that our herbs are planted and watered, where should we hang them? Location is key. Most herbs, including basil and rosemary, love a lot of sunlight. They need at least 6 hours of direct sun per day to produce those flavorful, aromatic leaves. A south-facing window is ideal. Mint is a bit more tolerant and can handle some partial shade. So, take a look around your home. A sunny kitchen window is the classic choice because it's so convenient for cooking. A bright living room or a sunny balcony are also excellent options. Once you've picked your spot, it's time to install the hooks. Make sure the hooks are screwed securely into a ceiling joist or a sturdy wall support. You don't want your beautiful herb garden crashing down. If you're not sure, it's always best to use a stud finder. Once the hooks are in place, carefully hang your pots. Adjust the length of the hangers so the pots are at a height that's both aesthetically pleasing and easy for you to reach for watering and harvesting. Let's quickly go over some common mistakes to avoid. The number one mistake is overwatering. It's the most common way people kill their potted plants. Herbs don't like to have wet feet. Always check the soil before you water. A simple way to do this is the finger test. Stick your finger about an inch into the soil. If it feels dry, it's time to water. If it feels moist, wait another day or two. Another mistake is not providing enough light. If you see your herbs getting long and leggy with sparse leaves, it's a clear sign they're stretching for more sun. Move them to a brighter spot. Finally, don't be afraid to harvest. In fact, regular trimming encourages the plants to become bushier and more productive. So, snip away. Caring for your hanging herb garden is simple. Besides watering correctly and providing enough light, you'll want to feed them occasionally. About once a month during the growing season, which is spring and summer, you can give them a diluted dose of a liquid organic fertilizer. This will replenish the nutrients in the soil and keep your herbs healthy and productive. And remember to harvest regularly. When you snip leaves, always cut just above a set of new leaves. This will encourage the plant to branch out from that point, resulting in a fuller, healthier plant. So, let's recap what we've learned today. We started by choosing our herbs and the right hanging pots with drainage. We prepared the perfect soil mix and carefully planted our seedlings, making sure not to bury them too deep. We gave them a good initial watering and talked about the importance of finding a sunny spot to hang them. We also covered essential care tips, like how to water correctly, the importance of sunlight, and how regular harvesting actually helps your plants grow better. You are now fully equipped to create your own amazing hanging herb garden. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and feel inspired to bring some fresh, green life into your home. It's such a rewarding project, and there's nothing better than cooking with herbs you've grown yourself. If you found this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more gardening guides and DIY projects, and I'd love to see your creations. Share a photo of your hanging herb garden in the comments below, or tag us on social media. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and happy planting!